Hello, Sagittarius. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Sagittarius is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment. Consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Sagittarius, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. 8 of Pentacles. You're in a very, as soon as I started, I felt a calm energy. Even though I've had coffee, I got to admit I'm back on the coffee. There's a calm energy about you. There's a certain patience, there's a certain flow, there's a certain relaxed energy that's coming over you. I feel that's very good. This is a 8 of Pentacles. It's a card of paying attention to the details, but not in an anxious, overthinking, chaotic way. It's kind of like we're just gently watching everything grow and tending to things, pruning things as they need. This card is all about the sort of proper amount of, let's say, sunlight, soil, water, and love. And it's kind of giving something exactly what it needs when it needs it. It's not too much is better. More is always better. No, it's just kind of there's a certain amount and not too much. So it feels like your energy is very relaxed right now. And I think that you're intentionally cultivating something. Now, this could be that you're cultivating your internal garden. We're not sure if this is the internal or the external yet. Probably the internal because it's our first card, right? So you're growing and you're changing in ways that I think are very deliberate. You've been either doing like intentional movement, intentional eating, all those kinds of focusing on your sleep, trying to cultivate a very healthy being, right? Doing your spiritual practice, meditation, your prayer, your worship, your sacred dance, your music, your chanting, whatever you do, that sort of grounds you and connects you with spirit. I feel like you've been doing a lot more of that, and really in this alert but calm energy, yeah. And I think that you maybe used to be a little bit more easygoing with your energy, a little bit more ready to just kind of to put your energy into all sorts of things, a little almost randomly. I feel like now you're holding back a little bit. I think you're learning in life that less is more, yeah. And so I feel like not only is this like you're not spending as much of your physical money, but you're not spending as much of your energetic currency either, Learning how to kind of save a little bit, physically, but as well as energetically. So let's put this card into a little bit of context, and let's see what's going on with you and with this energy. There we go. Okay. Wow. The Eon, Judgment, a Rebirth, a Reawakening, Baptism by Fire, a Tower. We have a 10. Well, that's the 10 of Wands, kind of confirming what I just said here, that you're storing up this energy because back in the day, you used to be, or maybe you're just sort of recently getting out of a situation where you've been putting in 110% of your effort somewhere, okay? And maybe this was something that you didn't feel was really worth all of your energy. It feels that you were spread very thin at some point recently. There we have a 9 of Swords, but the 2 of Wands. This is a strength, this is a control, this is an assertiveness. It's saying that your energy is going to be needed. So what I think is happening is that you've been preparing for something and maybe you haven't really known what that was. I feel like there's a very big shift coming. I feel like it's kind of, it's almost an overwhelming shift. You've been slowly preparing for something consolidating something, whether it's time, effort, energy, and or money, saving all of this for you don't know what. It's kind of like when you save for a rainy day. It's like, there's going to be a rainy day, but you don't know what exactly it's going to be. I think you're sort of saving for that, and I think that's why we have our Tower and our Nine of Swords. I think that things are shifting big time. Let's keep going. Let's do the rest of our cards here. We have a Princess of Pentacles. We have the Two of Pentacles. We have a Six of Wands, very good, and we have an Ace of Cups. Oh yeah, the transition might be difficult. The transition might be challenging, but it's going to be for your best. It's going to be for your highest good, okay? Spirit is proud of your growth, okay? That's being repeated. Spirit is proud of your growth, okay? Let's select our mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. We're going to set this down right over here with our little sea turtle friend right on top. We're not going to look at that card until the very end. It will tie everything together. It will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. Okay. If at any moment during this message you feel like you might know what that card might be, put your prediction in the comments down below. Okay. Now, as we look around the room, we do see this kind of a pillar of discomfort right here. I think that this is the challenge of it's a growing pain that you're going through right now, okay? Or that you are preparing for. That's why you're sort of consolidating energy. There is this choice that you have to go through a very kind of life-changing shift in your energy, okay? So we have our major arcana, just these two. The choice to go through this doorway to a new future, okay? To a new future that is going to be something that you build up. It's going to be joyous, okay? This is something that the future is going to be outstanding for you. I think the growing pain, the transition period is going to be challenging, but it's better than what was before, because what seems like the Ten of Wands is saying is that previous to this transitional period of time, you were spending a lot of energy, time, effort, energy, and or money on something that wasn't really that rewarding, okay? So there is this kind of pain of separation that you're going to go through, but you really understand, I think, that it's for the best, because this was something that was draining your energy. This was a vampiric situation that was stretching you so thin that there was nothing, you were so thin you could see through it, And so I think you understand that this, the transition out of this is going to be the highest good for you, okay? This is a lot of effort being put into something. I think in a certain way, this is also the awareness here with the Eight of Pentacles that you've been working very, very hard on your cultivation and your spiritual growth. And this breakthrough is happening, okay? And I think, a breakthrough, let's say this is a spontaneous kind of Kundalini awakening. It's going to come with it. It's going to come with a lot of turmoil, perhaps, okay? It's not a pleasant experience in the moment, but the result, I think, is going to be much more power, much more agency, and a whole lot of love, okay? And I think sometimes we have to go through this transition in order to really move forward past something. So anyway, the two major arcana energies are very energetic, let's say, okay? And in fact, it's really the entire path of the dove is quite energetic. Fire, 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 and then of course our very difficult Nine of Swords. Okay, but the result of this is going to be new growth, new cultivation, positive changes, victories, and love. It's something that really is activating your heart chakra. Okay, this could be the clearing away of some blockages for you. Yeah, in a major way. So we have our major arcana. We've got fire, fire, fire. We've got a little bit of water in the reading, and it's at the end. Okay, so the result of all this really is a better experience, a happier feeling, an open heart, really, like I said, a lot of love resulting from all of this, even though it may feel difficult, this transition may be difficult. You're being told to go through the doorway on purpose, that this is a conscious decision to leave the past behind you. I think that you've been preparing for a transition even in ways that you didn't even realize. It's kind of like you've been packing your bags and getting your suitcase ready, and you're just, I don't know why, but I'm just kind of getting everything prepared for something, but we don't know what we're preparing for. A big decision here, okay? The Eon card is a break with the past. There's no equivocation here. It's an intentional move into the future, leaving the past behind you. Well, what the past is, of course, is that, I was going to call it a 2 of Wands, but it's the 10, right? I feel like this is a situation of codependence. Okay. This is really kind of doing away with the old and embracing the new, even though with the new, we don't know exactly what it is yet. Going through this doorway, we can see that it's something challenging. It's a fiery doorway, It's difficult to go through it. You have to take the initiative and make that change, take the step to intentionally go through a doorway of fire, symbolically speaking, obviously, knowing with certainty, having faith that on the other side is going to be the good stuff for you, okay? I feel like your destiny is being rewritten here, and you're the author, yeah. I feel like the script that you've been playing out in the past there's a realization that this is not what you wanted. Whether we're talking about work, at home, at school, relationships, your mindset, your belief system, whatever, all of that stuff, really. This is an intentional doorway. I want to do a divine doorway oracle card for you. Secret sketches, wander, and seek the familiar and friendly kind. Draw memories and sketches for others to find. Seek the friendly and familiar. So that kind of is like, even with the 6 of Wands, the victory, the love, right? Finding that kind of acceptance or togetherness or camaraderie or teamwork or bond with others, okay? Seeking the friendly and familiar kind, seeking your people maybe, okay? Now, the fact that we have a 9 of Swords and the Judgment card makes me ask if we've been perhaps, like giving our power away because we sort of you're maybe scared of judgment, staying stuck in this kind of a situation because there's a fear of the judgment. There's this fear even with you having to judge this and say, this isn't for me anymore. So we're trying to avoid this judgment, which is literally the name of the card, right? And it's sort of that final judgment. It's the day we wake up. This is the spiritual alarm clock. And you're trying to seek the familiar and friendly kind. Okay? So you're leaving a situation that doesn't serve you any longer, and you've been preparing for that for some time, and you're going to go through this doorway. And you're going to seek what is meant for you, something better for yourself. Okay? This is the spiritual alarm clock. It is the wake up call, and it's saying it's time to change this situation. Okay, down beneath the surface, you've got your tower. I think that this is as an internal energy, is you recognizing that things can't stay the same. Okay, this is kind of almost a last straw kind of situation. It feels like there's been something that's been holding you back, something that's been, and maybe it's been this anxiety of the 9 of Swords, right? This is a card called cruelty, by the way. It doesn't mean that this is someone else in your life that is, holding you back or restricting your energy. Because it may feel like what's going on is that your anxiety or your mindset or your belief system or that script or that narrative that you've been playing out in your life has been imprisoning you, has been imprisoning your energy. Okay? So, this is a situation that feels like this change is coming from inside. It's not necessarily that you're finally going to quit that job and go look for a better job. Maybe, I mean, how it manifests is really unique to you. But the energy here is that you're making the change internally first. This is a wake-up moment, big time. That's why I call it the kind of Kundalini awakening, because I feel like it's kind of a spontaneous thunderbolt, a lightning bolt of realization. It's happening inside of you first. And with the Tower card, this splits your life into two phases, two universes, two timelines, before and everything that's coming after. Okay? And what's coming after is going to be your intentional movement, your deliberate, proactive energy, choices, decisions, movement, the steps that you take on purpose. Okay? With energy and with assertiveness and with your very own agency to find the things in life that you want, to begin the path with heart, to begin a lot of paths with heart, to begin a lot of relationships that feel good and healthy and right for you, to begin a lot of, just connections, people, places, things, bonds, new values. I think you're ditching old, worn-out beliefs for more soul-level values. Okay? But we're not going to let our anxiety run the show, because that anxiety is the Nine of Swords. Okay? That is, this is kind of a cruelty to ourselves, This is us losing a lot of sleep at night. Why? Because this is the anxiety over the life we have, the life we've been living, or the beliefs that we've been holding on to, versus the life we want, the values that we want to have or that we do have. But there's some sort of conflict. There's some sort of fear, or there's some sort of anxiety that's running the show here for you. And I think that you've been losing sleep over that, like literally. Now, this card sometimes is like we're losing sleep over things that we can't control. Okay, well, maybe that's kind of something that needs to change. But what about those things we can control? Okay, and that's the control of the Two of Wands. This is about you taking charge, ownership, and agency over things that you can control. Okay, is Mars in Aries. And I think that really is saying that we're done letting our anxiety or our fear drive the car. We're done with this situation where maybe this is now Ten of Wands, card of oppression. It's a card of an overwhelming pressure or responsibility. This is also the card of codependence. It also is the card of somebody else or something else that you feel is preventing you from moving forward or controlling your actions or your movements in a way that is that obviously is counter to your best interests. Okay, this isn't just the sort of devotion or obligation that we might have to something that is helping us to grow and is helping us to become our best selves. It feels like this is something that is trying to keep you small or keep you locked in a particular situation. Okay, the feeling that there's no getting out from under this weight. Okay, I think that you're coming to a point where you've had enough of this. Okay, this again is kind of a level 10 energy, but where is the actual reward of this, right? So with the Eight of Pentacles, I feel like you've been preparing for a big shift, and it's going to be big. It's going to be a lot. The Tower is always disruptive. The Tower is always challenging. But the thing about the Tower is that it looks scary, right? And it is. But usually, a Tower event is in our best interest. It's not happening to us. It's happening, in your case, it's happening through you, but it's happening for you. Okay? And this new door is opening. And Spirit wants you to go through that new doorway. Because there is a situation that has been restricting you. This is Saturn in Sagittarius, by the way. Okay, so I think that has a unique synchronicity for you. Because of that Saturn, that restrictive energy. It's kind of like no matter how hard you push, this situation is not letting you expand. right? That restrictive nature of Saturn in this case. And of course, that's putting pressure now on the tower walls. And I think that you are making that decision, taking that decision, that action to break with this energy. This is the fishbowl that is too small for you, but energetically speaking. So it's a relationship, it's a situation, it's a person, place, or a thing, it's a belief, it's an idea, it's a belief system. It's something that is too small for you, okay? So this sudden change, you're using this sudden change of your perspective, this sudden appearance of this doorway as a catalyst for freedom. The universe is pushing you into your own agency and telling you got to take responsibility for what's going on in your life, and you've got to make the changes, and you've got to stand up and say, I'm not taking this anymore, you know. And I think that tower, internal tower here, is that moment where you kind of wake up and you see the truth. We see that big eye and that big flaming mouth on the card here. You wake up and you see the truth and you speak the truth. This is a card of revelation. This is the card of boundaries falling away, of scales falling from our eyes. We see things for what they are. And we're moving into a life now where there is more agency. We're realizing that you're gonna take the control, and you're gonna have to set your intention and make changes, 2 and 2, fire and earth. Getting back to really doing things that are gonna affect your life and change things in your environment. But you're moving into a path that has more fun, more love, more joy, more celebration, more value for you. That heart, that soul level value is really what you want. Okay, and this door is opening. Now, we don't want to ignore this inner knowing, okay? The problem sometimes with the Eight of Pentacles is that you might be waiting around for the perfect moment. There is no perfect moment. Okay, this is an awakening that's happening, and if the Nine of Swords is trying to deny this, this is going to disrupt your life in ways that are going to be unbelievable. So at the beginning, I said that this was you in a calm, sort of paying attention to the energy of something. So I feel like this is you waking up to the reality here, and just you're not frantically rushing anywhere. You're sort of taking things step by step, doing things in a very calm and relaxed but very attentive way. Not too much, not too little, you know. And so I think this is the right approach, because in all of this, if you look at just these cards here, the Path of the Dove seems very chaotic. But you have this very calm energy right now. Spirit is urging you, patience, pay attention, be assertive, but be calm, okay? Patience doesn't mean go slow. Patience means you're not rushing, that you're not frantic, that you're not going to make a bunch of mistakes because your energy is just kind of, you know, is chaotic too. So in all of this sort of very chaotic energy around you, you're able to stay very deliberate, okay? And I think that you're kind of getting a nice push from the universe here. But what we don't want is this Nine of Swords to doubt. You don't want this to you don't, as anxiety, right? You don't want it to prevent you from moving forward in that deliberate way. And that Eight of Pentacles is the inner garden, cultivating that inner strength, cultivating your healthy boundaries, cultivating your readiness, right? Preparing yourself to make this very intentional shift. Okay? And I do think that there's an alarm clock that's kind of going off. And when the alarm clock goes off, you're not the type of person that's going to be scared and frantic and run around and, oh my God, what's that noise? You're saying, okay, it's the alarm clock. It's time to get up. It's time to put my shoes on. It's time to get the coffee, and it's time to go out the door. In a very calm manner. You know, maybe you wake up to like ocean sounds. I used to wake up to whale sounds. I used to love that. So it's very calm. It's not that really loud, obnoxious alarm clock, you know. It's a gentle alarm that's kind of waking you up and saying, okay, let's get our things and let's do this. Yeah. We're moving away from something that has been draining, okay, and has been limiting and has been perhaps a codependent situation. You're moving toward the Two of Wands agency, Mars and Aries, taking control of the situation, taking control of your life, and realizing that, okay, that old universe has been crushed to dust. It wasn't for you. You didn't create it necessarily. I mean, you did in a certain way, but whatever, right? You've made this decision to put an end to it. The new universe that you're creating, you have the opportunity now to build it up the way you want to. And that brings us over to the path of the Serpent and the Princess of Pentacles. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. Okay. Do you use like a hairdryer? I'm kind of hearing like a hairdryer noise, and like I'm seeing somebody that's using a hairdryer. I don't know if you're doing that right now, or what the connection is with the hairdryer. Yeah. Anyway, the Princess of Pentacles is your general energy. This is an energy that will develop into the Empress. Okay, what does it need? Sunlight, soil, water, a little bit of love, And so I believe that this is really you. This is you in the state that you are now and thinking, I need to cultivate myself into who I want to become. It seems like the 10 of Wands was creating you and your life, your personality and your personal reality in a way that you didn't really like, that maybe you didn't agree to and you didn't appreciate. Okay, so over here, it feels like you're realizing that, okay, this is you in a sort of an uncarved way. This is you in a kind of a natural, raw materials, like this is who I am. And this is what we're investing in order to fulfill the potential, okay? And that slow and steady progress leads to really lasting results. So I believe that you are taking the intentional time and effort in this calm, assertive way to cultivate yourself, cultivate your internal garden, and also cultivate your external life. Okay, so this is the material that we have to work with. Okay, and with this card, we can see that the verdant energy is down there at the bottom, underneath the soil, kind of in the roots, and so it's there in potential, but it hasn't been brought out. That life, that spring hasn't, the abundance, right? It hasn't like sprung to life yet. The card represents a winter, okay? An energetic winter, a kind of personal winter, yeah. Where things are kind of frozen, things have felt stuck, things have felt like they haven't been growing. And now you're realizing what inside of you and around you has been holding you back from the growth that you wanted to see. We're breaking from that, and we're using that energy that's been draining away from us and that other thing, using that now to grow yourself and your life the way you want, to restore the verdant energy, to transform this card into the Empress, your personality into the abundant, self that you are, and your life into the abundant reality that you deserve, right? So with the Nine of Swords, you have to let yourself feel here, right? We have to grieve. We have to feel the pain. This is a pain of separation, okay? And I think initially it's the pain of being separated from the life you want, the life you deserve. But it's also the difficult, as you kind of assert your independence, this is kind of what you're saying no to, right? You're putting yourself first. There's going to be there's going to be a difficult transition, okay? And you're going to have to let yourself feel that. It's a doorway of fire, right? It's not going to be extremely pleasant. But the knowledge that this transition, it's a temporary, uncomfortable feeling, okay? On the other side of it is wonderful, okay? On the other side of this is real change and real growth. The Two of Pentacles is the changes that you're making in your environment and in your relationships. Okay, this is you cultivating the internal garden, and you're taking steps to also cultivate the external garden. You're making changes intentionally. Fire and earth, the Two of Wands, Two of Pentacles. Okay, and these are miracles that are unfolding kind of quietly, right? It maybe feels like there's a lot of that there's a lot of things happening, around you, that you're taking all of these intentional doorways, right? But there's a certain level of calm about things. Okay? And I feel like you're calm because you know that this is for your highest good. And so you're not being you're not being too heavily influenced by the chaos around you. Feels like you're somebody that I would really want to have next to me in an emergency, because I feel like you're cool under pressure. You're very calm, not in a lazy or lethargic or apathetic way, but in a very strong and a very attentive way. You're not just going to run around in chaos with your head on fire. You're going to look at it and say, here's what I have to do. Here's what we're doing. Let's do it. Let's get to work. It's almost a seriousness, but it's calm. Yeah, it's calm, and I like that. The Two of Pentacles is harmonious change. You're setting your intention and you are manifesting changes in your life right now. The doorway of fire is an intentional doorway. You have to go through it. Okay. The Six of Wands here is in the position of the fear and worry and concern. And this is, in some ways, a fear of victory, or an anxiety or a worry about actually achieving something. Like when you're back here, it's kind of like you don't have to worry about winning anything, about doing something right. You don't have to worry about success because it feels like it's somebody else's, somebody else's life, somebody else's plan, somebody else's quest, right? So now that you're taking your own agency and your own independence, that now it seems like your victory is on your shoulders. Now I know this is that same kind of card where there's that lot of pressure. We're being squeezed back here. But there's a codependence here. Here that feels like there's more independence or interdependence even, right? So I feel like your success, your victory or your defeat is really, it's up to you now, okay? Where over here it seems like we were just, in a way, following orders, maybe something along those lines. The Six of Wands is usually a card of teamwork. It's usually a card of kind of finding the right sort of collaborators, being part of a winning team, but being responsible for, your efforts on that team. Now, the difference between these two cards is maybe you're on a team here, but it's a team where maybe the other people aren't really pulling their weight, or it's it's a team effort where either you're being tasked with too much of the responsibility, or that your fate is too much intimately tied with other people's bad choices. Does that make sense? Where over here it feels like we're working together, but everybody's responsible for themselves. Everybody is an Ace of Wands, and everybody has come together with their own agency and their own responsibility. It's interdependence rather than codependence. And this is everybody functioning as a valuable member of the team. Everybody is bringing their own strengths, okay? And, rather than people kind of siphoning off the strength of others. It doesn't mean that you're going from, I guess it could. You're going from one sort of life situation from one to the other, where this is going to be either a partnership or a collaboration or even like a work situation, or, it could be friends, family, that feels a little bit more harmonious, a little bit more equal, okay? But it could be that you are not really a part of a group at all, and this is your concern that taking this risk, going through this fiery doorway and making intentional changes in your life isn't guaranteed to work. Because the obstacle is this fear of, am I going to get the victory or not? Am I going to get the win? But I think because this Ace of Cups is out there. You're looking through this doorway and you're thinking, I want that Ace of Cups. I want a life that feels good. You want to live a life according to your values. Maybe it's not going to work out exactly the way you wanted it to, but it's certainly better than what you were doing before. You know what I mean? Well, maybe part of the energy here with this sort of trio is that you've been very harsh with yourself, feeling that you've never been good enough. You've never been putting in enough work. That no matter what you did, it was never enough. Well, over here with the Six of Wands, it may be the feeling like, I don't want to feel that way anymore. I don't want to feel as if the only way I'm valued is if I can bend over backwards for everybody else or support everybody else or put in 1,000% effort, and get really no satisfaction from that, but to feel like I'm trying to please somebody else. So maybe your Six of Wands is kind of saying that victory means something else to you. Victory might be you winning your independence, and victory might be living a life that is more in line with your values rather than tied up in this need to please others. Okay? Or the feeling like you have to always be putting in every ounce of your effort, even if you're not getting anything out of it. Okay? So it may be that we're just looking for a little bit more harmony, a little bit more balance in our energy expenditures. We're looking for a little bit of return because this is a lot of energy going out, nothing coming in. This is now energy that goes out, comes in, there's balance. This is more like a reciprocating thing. It could be that you're literally in some kind of a partnership where you're doing all the work, somebody else is getting all the credit. This is now, it's a little more even, okay? But the bottom line is that your destiny is this Ace of Cups. You're beginning things that feel right for you, that resonate with who you are. You're beginning things, relationships, projects, belief systems. You're beginning new hobbies, I don't know, that are more in line with what you value in life. And maybe feeling as if your contribution to life in general, or to a specific job or career or school, a particular partnership or collaboration, the feeling that your contribution is valued. Because here it seems taken for granted. This is saying that you're valued for what you contribute, that you're receiving and you're offering as well that love and that appreciation, that gratitude. It feels better, it feels more joyous, it feels more fun. You're not scared of hard work, but you refuse to put in all of this hard work for no gratification, no gratitude, no appreciation, no value at all. You want to put in a level 10 effort if it's something that you value. Okay? And you're being guided through this doorway right now. Let's look at our mystery card. Well, I think Empress would be good, right? Or we could see that Ace of Cups unfolding. See, the Ace of Cups is the ocean of love. And as an ace, as an ocean, it's going to branch out into all these other rivers and streams, right? And that is that's the way the Ace of Cups works. It's not just one thing that you're doing that you're going to love. It's the way your heart, your love, your experience of the world is going to nourish all other aspects of your life. This is not just a work thing. It's not just a school thing or a family thing or a relationship or a coworker or a hobby or something. This is the way that your life is going to fundamentally change to where that love energy is going to trickle out, is going to flow out from your core, and it's going to feed everything else. This the ocean or whatever, a lake or something that, I don't know how it works, that feeds all of these other rivers and streams and creeks and springs and swimming pools and lagoons and all these other places where water can go. This is the source of all of that water. Okay, so this is like, you pour a bucket of water on your grass and you can watch the little streams that branch out from that central pool. That's what's going on here. And so that fundamental shift toward love, or that activation or that unleashing, the freeing of your heart here is allowing that love to go out in all these different places, right? So your life is going to change in a lot of different ways, because this water energy, this love energy, is going to be nourishing and feeding a lot of other dimensions of your life. Okay, so the mystery card might be a 9 of Cups, showing the flowing of water and how that water nurtures and nourishes all the dimensions of life, right, on every plane of being. So maybe Empress, maybe the 9 of Cups. Let's see what we have. 2 of Pentacles. Change, 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 more change. We're getting a doubling up on the 2 of Pentacles, because changing inside and changing outside, cultivating the internal garden, cultivating the external garden. This is, and it's, you know, it's change. It's not a specific change. It's the card of harmonious changes. Plural, multiple. It's not one step. It's like a bunch of steps. It's a bunch of things, right? And so in a way, it is kind of confirming that as we make changes inside and we're making changes outside, that water energy, that open heart, that activated heart chakra, that love is going to branch out and flow into a lot of different directions. Okay? But you've got to be willing to make those internal changes and allow that to reflect in your life through proactive steps, you know, making positive changes in your life as well. Okay? It's not enough if we just do the inside part. It needs to be as above, so below. It needs to be reflected in the outer as well. Okay? I think this is a very practical mystery card here. Maybe it wasn't as dramatic as I was hoping, but I think it's very practical. And now we're going to do an extended reading as well. If you want to stick around, we'll do an I Ching hexagram. We'll do some oracle cards. There is a link in the corner. There's a link down below. New readings for Sagittarius, Tuesdays and Fridays. Be sure to watch both readings. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you are watching from. I want you to know that you are the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we are all in this together.